Yes, please start.
So, welcome to this very interesting session. So now we all do research, but without real-time applications, we really have very little value for it. So now we'll see how our Atal Incubation Center (CCMB) is trying to is uh, is trying to translate those research work into real-time benefit of us. So yeah, over to you. You can start, Madhu.
1 second.
Start? No, you can start speaking. The video is on. Then whenever you start.
Good morning, good afternoon, the audience of this presentation. Just to give you a brief introduction about Atal Incubation Center at CCMB. All of you understand what an incubation is. And this AIC CCMB was an activity formed by CCMB with an intention to take the leads and technologies, leads that have been developed in CCMB into technologies. And while doing that, we also support, startups in life sciences with all the facilities, etc., that are required for them to take the leads to a kind of a stage where they can get into the market. So a short video will show you the kind of path that any startup would like to follow, and that is something that we support. Can you see this video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, So the short 2-minute presentation uh, kind of very comprehensively captures the kind of challenges any entrepreneur or a person who is interested in developing their ideas into a product or a process, the kind of challenges they face. And usually the leads, the people who discover discover these leads, usually the academicians and maybe senior students, etc. They know that the lead has a value in the market, but there is a long journey in taking a lead to the market. There are several steps that one needs to be aware of. Usually that's something that we never get taught. In fact, nowadays some colleges and technology courses are introducing the entrepreneurship kind of courses, but most of them come a bit with unpreparedness on what is the path for many of these, how to take the things to market and etc. Because when we say market, we are talking about consumers, and we need to know what consumer wants. Your lead may be very good, but at the same time, we need to make sure that there is a need for that lead in a way in the outside in the public. So identifying the consumers and their needs, how we can make their life better, more in terms of health, environment, etc. This is something that we will like to help those people who come with these leads. So this incubation center formed by CCMB has excellent infrastructure facilities. That means we have, just to give you an example, if somebody has a good idea, let's take the context of COVID, for example, everybody is familiar. Say you come up with a very interesting kit for diagnosis of COVID or something related to COVID. Now you want to establish that and then get approvals because it's a test. You have to get approvals from the appropriate national agency and make a product and then get permissions and identify the partners. Usually the guys who make the leads, they are not really savvy at the marketing strategies. So they need a marketing partners and how to go to market. All these things are very important for any entrepreneur to succeed. So what we do we provide the first phase of the journey for any startup. That is, provide infrastructure so that they can come straight away, start their work and develop their leads into something, a prototype, what we call as a prototype or a minimal viable product. That is where other people would be interested. People are not interested purely on the leads. they are interested in a kind of a product that addresses an application or a context, a clinical context, and things like that. That's where we provide all the infrastructure for them to take a lead into a prototype. Once they come to a prototype, they also require a lot of mentorship. Like, since entrepreneurship or a startup is a business activity, please remember this is a very important word, business. It's no more a kind of a exploratory phase. You wanted to make money. When you want to make money, you have to make something that generates money. When something generates money means that there is a lot of things that have to comply with before you put it in the market. So in life sciences, for example, since the products usually have an application for human or animals and things like that, there are a lot of additional regulatory requirements that one has to be aware of. So these are the things we help in understanding depending upon that particular startup's lead idea. So we created a kind of a place where you can do your own work, take your lead to a product, a prototype, and also get in touch with stakeholders such as regulatory people, intellectual property experts, and also investment partners. So usually most of the people that come to us have some money to take their work to some extent, but beyond that, they need more money. Business is not only capital intensive. Of course, the infrastructure intensivity part is what we take care of it, but capital intensiveness is something that you have to come up with a product that impresses the investor. So these are all the networks that are very crucial, which is what we take pride in providing to the startups. This is something that at early stage to critical for the survival of deep tech startups. So what we have been doing, this is a kind of a slide that tells you when we started, how many startups were with us. So we started 4 years ago with the money given by Niti Aayog under a program called Atal Innovation Mission. Now it's the Atal Incubation Center. We are one of the first round awardees of this grant. It was 4 years ago. Since then, we have incubated something like 48 startups. And right now, there are 25 plus startups are physically resident in our incubator and do their work in developing their prototypes. In addition to it, we also take a lot of grants from other government agencies like Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Department of Biotechnology, etc. So the idea is to support as many entrepreneurs as possible in their journey of entrepreneurship, right? So the other details that in the slide will also tell you about the kind of activities that we do. There is a program by name Find. Find is supported by Bill Gates Foundation, where we wanted to look at the indigenous capacity of diagnostic kits. We started this project especially when COVID was in its peak. That's last year around August. The idea was, all of you are aware, there are not enough kits available, or the kits are very expensive for testing. And while there is a sufficient capacity indigenously to make these kits, but somehow the developers are not getting together to develop these kits because there are quality issues. So this project essentially focused on developing these kits indigenously. So we don't depend upon even a single component that comes from abroad. So these are the kind of things that we look at in supporting the medium and small scale enterprises and startups to take their activities forward to develop their product or a process. So the focus is biology and research to enterprise. That is, the ideas now it's no more research, it's more like an enterprise. So people wish to grow as a job providers rather than a job seekers. And also at the same time, with their smartness and the ideas, they want to make an impact at a society level in a big way. So these are the kind of things. So we also provide immersion. Immersion is essentially kind of mentorship networks where people get, uh, you know, trained or interact with a lot of mentors to understand the the journey of entrepreneur's journey in making a product. And also we keep bringing them a lot of value judgments on what should their product should have in terms of impact. Like a couple of programs that we do are meant for aging and health, that's especially targeting elderly population. Now we started another program called maternal health, where, and also come up with biotechnological interventions. That is, these programs are suitable for people in the age group of 20 to 30 who are smart, who are raring to do some kind of they have a lot of ideas, they want to contribute to the society and want to also make money at the same time. So these programs are excellent. If any of you are interested, they should apply. One is active now. By 30th this month, we would be looking at these applications. So this is the kind of slide that tells you what goes on before we take somebody into our incubator. Usually we are inclusive kind of attitude, in the sense we want to support as many as possible. So we have our own processes. There is a technology advisory group that advises these applicants and then tells them how they are suitable to our work and what else they can do, whether they have to refine their idea much more and things like that. These are all the advices that go on. So we help a lot of people. As I said, we have more than 50 startups that went through our incubator, and 25 plus are actually resident. So this also kind of catches up with, in addition to our resident startups, we also have, as I mentioned, about programs from ministries, where if you include all of them, there are 69 startups that went through, and our incubators over last 4 years have raised more than 25 crores of external money in various programs of national or from private investors, and also generated around 20 lakhs of revenue. Subsequently, some of them, when they make a prototype, they put it up in the market and get some money and generates a lot of employment. There are 15 patents filed, and 3 startups have won the awards, national awards from our incubator. So this is one program I was mentioning about, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, where applying artificial intelligence and machine learning or IoT kind of tools to health sciences. Nowadays, there is so much of digital medicine in talk, whether it is data crunching or whether it is image processing. Almost nowadays the tagline is, do we need doctors after 10 years? A lot of people are trying to come up with very sophisticated softwares and programs to interpret the visual data, the image data, as good as the clinicians can. So, and also Ccmb is long known for generation of genomic data of Indian population and elsewhere in the world. So we have access to a large number of data which needs to be more deeply analyzed. Today, we analyze it for our own ends, but the point here is there is so much of data hidden there which we can probably exploit. So these particular MITI grants, Electronics and Information Technology grants, like what you see, these are half a dozen companies that we have there, which are supported by us. We give them money and we give them all kinds of immersion support so that they can grow in their work. And that gives them a lot of, balance of opinion and kind of inputs that are essential for a growing entrepreneur. So this is some program very, very young, 20 to 30 age group, applicants are in this first program. These 5 kids are involved in developing biotechnological tools for the elderly population. This program is coming to a close. And this is also an excellent program where we give 50,000 bucks per month as a fellowship, and also some several lakhs to develop the prototype. These are all national programs, and any one of you are interested should apply for our next project on maternal health. So, and in addition to, as I said, one is support these entrepreneurs, but the second thing is also, can I give money to them so that they can grow? Money is always an issue because startup journeys are money intensive. You need both operational and capital expenses. So we have access to approximately some 7-8 crores, which we can distribute to promising enterprise startups. That's what we do. This is a NSTDB grant which we disperse. And similarly, we have done a lot of entrepreneurship training programs because we believe the future is in entrepreneurship. Like, these are the things that have very clear contribution in the developed worlds where entrepreneurship, the people have contributed to the national growth immensely. So India is also going in that direction. We are trying to do as much as we can in that. So this is something that we also do at Atal Incubation Center. It is called Center for Predictive Human Model Systems, where we are interested in generating a lot of policy papers and publications to educate people on alternates to use of animals in drug discovery. And in last decade and a half, there are so many new biology has developed and new computational tools have come up, which have made it very clear that today probably we get as much information from doing a animal experiment and by doing it in a non-animal context, that is in vitro systems. So in vitro systems have developed so much, and along with that computational biology, including various genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, all these things put together, you can probably get the same outcomes or conclusions as one would get by doing it in animals. So this is something that we promote a lot. This is called, if anybody is interested, we would love to talk to them. It's a project developed by AIC, Ccmb, and Humane Society International. And also we have several residents. One of the things I mentioned at the beginning is to take the leads of Ccmb forward. So I just mentioned 3 leads here. One is on, do we have, apparently we have a new target for developing antibiotics, but that's a long path. We are trying to do various kinds to understand what are the best, molecules that can target this particular new enzyme that may develop into a totally novel antibiotic. And similarly, we have a lot of studies done in, in animals to understand various psychological states or the kind of food habits that pets may have or the animals may have. By analyzing their stools, we can extract so much of information from the stools. We have developed so many DNA-based technologies and immune-based technologies to assess the food habits and stress assessment of pets, which is a enormous utility in the market. And like that, we also are developing some anti-malarial drugs and also anti-malarial vaccines in Ccmb. These leads will be taken up by incubators like ours with a proper entrepreneurship and things like that, so they can develop into a product which will be very dissimilar to what happens in the lab. In the lab, one is doing more of an exploratory research, but in an incubator and in an entrepreneurship context, you are developing towards a product. No more exploratory work, but more towards the product development. There is the kind of hats that people should wear are different here, and that's what we try to help them in doing it. So these are a couple of projects which I already mentioned, where we try to develop COVID-related kits and also rapid diagnostics, where using lateral flow devices and things like that. And we also help them in upscaling it to a larger level. So these are some of the projects we support, various things in during the COVID time. along with another similar organization in Bangalore called Ccmb. So some of these things have gone forward into a kind of a product also. So we are quite excited by having participated in such, activities. Right now, we are looking at, we are actually supported by uh, a government organization called Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India, SPMCIL, where they have given us some money to distribute to those entrepreneurs who are interested in developing technologies for mitigating COVID. So we already taken the first cohort. We will be taking more. And if any of you interested, either just to take your lead to a product, or you also are looking for some financial support to take your idea, we want to listen to you, right? So please visit us and please visit us and see our website, and you will appreciate the kind of things we are doing. In the next slide, one of the things that we do is also called Student Innovation Program. Here, this is a national program. I mean, some students are assigned, a group of students with their interesting ideas are assigned to us. So again, we help them in understanding the path of product development in a month, or at least nearly a month program on immersion with various experts in the field, so that they can develop their product into something much more, cute and sellable. So in fact, from 2 batches, some of our awards went on to win the national awards, and some of them went abroad. I mean, it's very exciting opportunity for us to deal with students. I mean, these are all students in the 10th class to 12th class kind of category. So we have programs for all age groups, right from age 15 onwards. We've been supporting various programs, in whichever way we can. So this is something that is our staff. I'm very well supported by Ramji, Ritika, Ashish, Srinivas, Seshu, and Hema and Nagmani. And also recently we have Anuj, who is our chartered investment manager. Meir is an acceleration program, and Harish is a Spursh coordinator. In addition, we have Surat and Sham, who are also part of this and handle the CPHMS program. So we are quite, our bouquet is quite large, and I'm sure we have flowers for each of you. And it's a matter how you pick one of them. So these are some of our partners, with whom we collaborate very actively on a weekly basis to, change notes and, partner with various programs. Of course, some of these activities have become dull because of COVID, but we are back to our normal again. And these are all our partners in crime. And so these are all some of the companies that have graduated from us, like Magellan and 30M Genomics. All these people also have raised a lot of money. This is what I was showing, the kind of money that they raised by us. So some of the images that are part of, that happened in last year or so, where our, Vice President was here, His Excellency Venkaiah Naidu Garu, and also our Director General of CSIR and various other dignitaries that come to us. And we are very happy to be able to host them. And we want to be more impactful and reach more people, in their journey. Even if you are having a half-baked ideas, please do come, don't hesitate. It's important to talk to peers and visit us and see physically what we are. And, these are some of the media links that you can access. That'll be a great opportunity for us to help you if you are interested in becoming a somebody of your own rather than a job seeker. And we would like to be part of your journey. If you have any queries, you can reach us. You have all the information on the screen. And if you have any questions now, we can also address those questions. Thank you very much for your time and patience.
Thank you for the nice talk, Madhu. So we have many questions, but we will go through few of it one by one. So the first question is from Satvika. She is asking, what is Atal Incubation Mission?
Uh, See, the government realized maybe a few years ago that innovation is something that is not actively promoted in this country, because innovation is what makes an idea into a product, and that is something we are highly educated population, but at the same time, and on the innovation index, we are not there. That's not because it's more because there are not particular avenues for people to go in that direction. The awareness is missing. So Atal Innovation Mission is essentially to promote innovation across all disciplines. And then they have several verticals. One of them is Atal Incubation Centers, and there are also tinkering labs. There are several programs. I'll request you to see the website of Atal Innovation Mission. I think somebody can put the link. You can Google it, Atal Innovation Mission. You will see what kind of activities they have. So yeah, I mean, innovation is key to development. That's what is all these Atal Innovation Mission programs conduct.
So the second question is from Himangi. She is asking how to apply in any program in AIC.
Yeah, it's simple. I think they should look at our website. All the active programs have been advertised in our website. Like right now, we have an active program on from DBT, which we handle, called a Sparsh program, where the kind of the call is for applicants that can help maternal and child health. Okay, so if somebody has some interesting ideas, in fact, if I can ask you, they may not have an idea yet. They just want to be in the entrepreneurship kind of mode. If they want to do higher studies and do a PhD or something more, that's different. But if they want to get into an entrepreneurship, they should apply. They may come up with a more interesting, or they can narrow down their ideas once they get into this program. I really recommend that they should look at our website on Sparsh for maternal and child health. That is one. And also we have a couple of seed fund programs, which are usually given to already resident incubators associated with it. So you can also apply for it. Once you apply for it, you will be guided on various things, right? So I suggest that they should look at our website. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. So the last question is, are vocational courses meant for entrepreneurship?
Actually, a lot of government departments are doing these, entrepreneurship training or skilling kind of programs, right? From all ministries are doing it. So I just have to look around. I mean, they can come and talk to us or email us. We can get back to them what kind of sites they should be looking at, and get a bit of clarity by talking to us. If they are, just call us up and then see how we can help, because it's not easy for me to say where all they should look at. But if you talk to them for a couple of minutes, we know where they are going, so our advice can be more specific.
Yes. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you for your time.
No, you're welcome. It's our pleasure to.
Yeah. So the quiz will start from 2:40. Thank you all for attending. 2:45.